This is Professor Venkatarama Devar, Assistant Professor of English, Department of Collegiate and Technical Education, Government of Karnataka. I am presently working at Government First Grade College, Guruvali. Friends, this is the English language class for the students of BCom IV Sem IV of Bengaluru North University and also for the students of Bangalore University. Friends, this is being the 23rd session. We are going to learn a poem titled as How Soon After Time. It is written by John Milton. In the previous session, we have just got introduced to the poet and also to the poem. In this session, we are going to learn the important thing, the poem itself. Well, the first and foremost thing that we are going to learn is a glossary or meanings of difficulty words in the poem. And then we are going to learn the meaning of the petrarch and sonnet. And the most important thing is that we are going to learn the poem stanza by stanza. Do wait and watch till the end of this video so that you will understand the poem completely and you will be able to comprehend the poem and you will be able to answer the question which you will ask in your examination. The glossary are the meanings of difficult words in the poem. The first and foremost thing, let me tell you is subtle, S-U-B-T-L. Here, the word B is silent and the meaning of this word is called hidden. Now, we have another word, hasting days. Hasting days means fast moving days. Then we have semblance. Semblance means an allusion to the poet's juvenile phase or figure. The poet once upon a time was called as the lady of the college. There is another word called deceive. Deceive means cheat or hoodwink. And we have the word called inward ripeness. Inward ripeness is maturity. Then we have the end youth. End youth means inherit. And we have the most important word, taskmaster. Taskmaster means God or Almighty. Well, friends, now let's come to the Petrarchan sonnet. Let us know what is a Petrarchan sonnet. Petrarchan sonnet is also known as an Italian sonnet originating in Italy. It is a poem of 14 lines with a variable line scheme. It was popularized by Italian poet Francisco Petrarca and so named after him. This poetic form was brought to England by Sir Thomas Watt and Henry Howard in the 16th century. The Petrarchan sonnet is divided into two sections, octave and sestet. Octave is the first part of the sonnet, wherein we have 8 lines. Sestet is the last or the second part of the sonnet, wherein we have 6 lines. The sonnet usually reflects upon a single sentiment with a turn of thought in the line. Friends, with this background, let's come to the understanding of the first stanza of this poem. I will read the first stanza, please to listen. How soon hath time the subtle thief of youth stolen on his wing my 23 year. My hasting days fly on with full career, but my late spring no butter blossom should. This is the first stanza of the poem, wherein we find that these 4 lines are called as first quartile. We shall understand the first quartile. Now let's come to the understanding of the first stanza. Let me repeat the first 2 lines of the poem. How soon at the time the subtle thief of youth stolen on his wing my 23 year. These very lines speak important things, that the poem begins in a lamentable tone. The speaker laments how quickly time has taken on its wings the poet's 23rd. The poet compares time to a thief that robs people of their youth. The poet is talking about the 23rd year of his life. In the opening line of the sonnet, the poet compared the time to the certain thief of youth. It suggests that the time is a clever thief who steals the poet's youthful days secretly and without violence. Here, the poet personifies time with a bird, which takes his age away on its wings. The word wing introduces the image of the bird, and the word flying in the 3rd line testifies the image. As a whole, in the eyes of the Milton, time is still a bird that takes youth on a flight. Awaiting divine intervention is evident in his first lines of the poem. I'm sure you have followed the first 2 lines. Let's move on to the next 2 lines of the first stanza. Let me remind you the next two lines. My hasting days fly on with full career, but my late spring no butter blossoms shoot. These are the next two lines of the first stanza. These lines mean that the poet's days pass speedily in a rush, yet he hasn't produced anything substantial. Here, hasting days means fast moving days. The full career here means at full speed. The time flies at full speed. Suggesting his spring is simply a late one. He admits that he shows no bud or blossom. We come across the image of the late spring that the poet is now 23 years old and so he has attained the late youth. Here, bud and blossom suggests production by way of writing poetry. In the last line, he says that even though he is spending his prime time of life in his career, he sees no fruit or result of his hard work that is taking all of his time of his life. So, Milton is keen to utilize time fruitfully and believes that the best use of time can only be done through producing significant work. He feels betrayed by the speed at which youth and time have left him with years past, not recording achievement at a considerable time. Let's move on to the second stanza. It is also called the second quartile of the poem. Yeah, I will recite. Perhaps my semblance might deceive the truth that I, too man who am arrived so near, and inward redness doth much less appear, that some more timely happy spirits endureth. Friends, let me remind you the first two lines of the second stanza. Perhaps my resemblance might deceive the truth that I too manhood am arrived so near. Perhaps the poet's appearance may not reveal the truth that he is close to becoming a man. He may be looking much younger than he was. Here, semblance is a direct linkage to his collegiate years where his feeble physical structure was deemed as a girlish and feminine, resulting in him having the title of the Lady of the Christ College. With a feminine overall outlook, he continues to underestimate himself in comparison to the contemporaries, having accomplished much more in their prime age. He has arrived at manhood, but his inner maturity has not yet appeared. So, this is what the first two lines of the second stanza tell us. Yeah, now let's move to the next two lines of the second stanza. I'll remind you the words. I will remind you the lines. And inward rightness that much less appear, that some more timely happy spirits emulate. Here, in these lines, the poet speaks about his inner maturity has not yet appeared, whereas some other happy people are endued with the maturity of thought and talent in time. Inward maturity here means maturity of thought and talent. Milton speaks about his age just adding numbers of his life of the many years that he has lived, but it has nowhere brought any kind of inward maturity in him. The poet ardently aspires to attain maturity of thought and talent within his lifetime, in contrast to happy spirits. The poet briefly touches the aspect of immaturity. He deems himself incompetent and lacking in poetic ability. I'm sure you got these two lines. But let us move on to the third stanza, or we call it as the last part of the sonnet, that is called a sustet. Let me read the sustet. Please do watch. Yet be it less or more, or soon or slow, it shall be still in the strictest measure given to that same law, however mean or high, toward which time leads me and the will of heaven. All is if I have grace to use it so, as ever in my great taskmasters. And this will be the last stanza of this poem. We will understand the poem line by line. In a state, the poet hopes that less or more, sooner or later, his spirit shall be equal to the same lot as other spirits have had in youth. The poet says that, yet be it less or more, or soon or slow. In this line, there is a turn in the thought with the word yet. Here onwards, he regains his cheerful self. He feels his faith in God is unshaken. He says that let this rightness be small or large, less or more, or sooner or later, he will be blessed by God. Time, it shall be still in strictest measure even. This line means that this maturity that will eventually come to him will be strictly measured according to the will of the God. So the same lot, however mean or high, this line means that the maturity will be strictly according to the same lot. He says that the maturity that will come to him according to the purpose. The same lot means the purpose. That was to serve whether it is a mean purpose or high purpose. In brief, however, high or low, time will lead him to the same fate by the will of the God. The line, toward which time leads me and the will of the heaven. This line means, probably the poet says that the time will lead him to a time maturity according to the will of the heaven. However dull or dignified, and which only time and God determine. Eventually, it is the will of the heaven that matters, not the speakers. There is a line, all is if I have the grace to give it so. This means, the poet says that all this will be accordingly if he was able to use the talent properly and gracefully. If he has a grace to follow God's will, everything will be exactly as God designed it. Ultimately, he may accomplish God's plan only if he has grace. There is a last line in the poem that is, as ever in my great taskmasters. It means, if he has a grace to use his talent, he will prove successful in the eyes of the God who is a great taskmaster. The term taskmaster implies that he considers that everything in the world is pre-planned by the God, and he is the master behind all that happens around in the world. The poet's early regret is overcome by his complete faith in God, who is called his taskmaster. In conclusion, he ends his tragic toned lament with having faith in God or assisting him in his quest for grace. Friends, thank you very much for watching this video till the end. I am sure you have understood this poem. For further discussion, maybe analysis or comprehension of this poem, please do wait for another video I will upload soon in the session 24. If you like this video, please do make a comment and do subscribe if you haven't subscribed till now, and also bell the bell notifications for further updates. Thank you very much. Thank you for watching this video.